Chicago Bears Now is presented by Roan. Get fitted by Roan today by going to roan.com/chatsports. Code chatsports going to get you 20% off your first order. All right. I thought we'd take 10, 15 minutes here to talk about the new Bears interim offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown. He takes over for Shane Waldron, who got fired after 9 games. What a debacle. Plenty of videos from earlier today if you want to dive into that analysis that I had. But we're going to try and turn the page here and see what Thomas Brown can bring to the table. And erased in all of this week's madness is it is Packers week, and we do hate the Packers. So listen, spam FGB down in the comments below. I expect hundreds of FGB comments on this video. So you know the drill. Let's make it happen. All right, let's start with Thomas Brown's just background. 38 years old, young guy, played college football at Georgia where he was a running back, all SEC caliber player, 6th-round pick out of the Falcons in 2008. Played there for a couple of years, played with the Browns for a year, only 3 years in the NFL. I think he had a collarbone injury that might have stunted his career, but 6th-rounder, fringe NFL player. Shifted into coaching pretty quickly, returned to his alma mater. I find this interesting. He was a strength and conditioning coach in 2011. Then he was a running backs coach at 4 different schools in 4 years. Chattanooga, Marshall, Wisconsin, Georgia. Kind of natural rise each stop, right? He goes to an FCS program, small D1, Power 5, powerhouse Power 5, back at his alma mater at Georgia. He follows Mark Richt to Miami, where he's their offensive coordinator and running backs coach. He did not call plays at Miami, so that's worth mentioning. Ended up at South Carolina in 2019 as the running backs coach. So 9 years at the college level, got a lot of different experience at some different spots. Then he goes to the NFL, and he joined Sean McVay's staff in 2020 as their running backs coach. He gets promoted to assistant head coach for the next couple of years. He also coached tight ends in the 2022 season. Ends up getting the offensive coordinator gig in Carolina in 2023 as he continues to move up. That thing blows up as Frank Reich gets fired in the middle of the season. The Panthers are a disaster. Gets the pass game coordinator job here, and now he's the interim offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. So for being a 38-year-old, he has had a lot of experiences both at the college and NFL level. Now, what's the play calling experience? Well, it's not much. He didn't call plays at Miami, did call plays for 9 games last year at Carolina. Frank Reich gave up play calling for 3 games, took it back, Reich then got fired, so then Brown called the final 6 games of the season as well. And quite frankly, outside of a 30-point performance against the Packers late in the year, their offense was atrocious. I mean, there's really nothing impressive to point to. Now, what did they have to work with? Bryce Young clearly hasn't been very good. He's been playing okay as of late, but he got benched 2 games into his 2nd season with the new coaching staff. So I think there's a lot of, I'm not giving Thomas Brown a pass, but he wasn't even supposed to be the play caller. Then he was the play caller. The team sucked. I mean, look at the talent disparity, right, with what he has in Chicago versus what he had in Carolina. I mean, say what you want about Caleb Williams. He's been better this year than Bryce Young was as a rookie or at any point last year in his career up to this point. DeAndre Swift, Chuba Hubbard might be the one guy you can point to that's a pretty solid player. But even with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen having down years, Rome Odunze being hit and miss as a rookie, that's much better than washed Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, and Jonathan Mingo. The point I'm making is Brown has more ammunition to work with now with the Chicago Bears taking over for Shane Waldron. Now, let's not confuse that with this offense is going to take off. He's going to be some innovative, creative play caller that is going to help this offense take off. I'm not saying that. I'm simply pointing out the facts that, well, there's more tools in the toolbox, so hopefully the results will be a little better than they were last year, and hopefully they'll be better than what they've been, especially the last 3 weeks with Shane Waldron. Will the Bears play better under Thomas Brown offensively? Type B for better, W for worse. Can it get much worse? I mean, really, it's no offensive touchdowns on 23 straight drives. I mean, I guess if the next 24 drives you don't score a touchdown, the answer to that would be yes. But that seems pretty unlikely. Now, one clear area Thomas Brown should be an upgrade in is this. We're going to get to that here in just a few minutes. on Chicago Bears now. But I do want to tell you guys a little bit more about our sponsor, Roan. I've been rocking their products for a while now, and you guys should as well, as Roan has changed the male's closet, and you should upgrade your wardrobe as well. Fall needs its own wardrobe full of comfortable and coordinating pieces for a layered look with perspective. You need warmth, so that's still extra breathable, though. You don't want to be so hot, because the one thing you don't like about fall, winter, it's cold outside, but you get inside and it gets freaking hot. You want to find that balance, and Roan is going to help you do that. They've got you fitted for every occasion with their premium pieces to elevate every occasion. We're talking about the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos, blazers, and a whole lot more, all boosted with functional performance properties. Their advanced fabrics, like their signature technical fabrics, I should say, stretch in every direction. They breathe well. It fights odor and the elements. I go play golf in their polos all the time. And regardless of what your job is, if you're moving around a lot, if you sit at a desk, you're going to be comfortable, and they're going to have you fitted for every single occasion. So go check out Roan today. Machine washable clothing. No more wasting money at the dry cleaners with Roan. Get 20% off with code CHATSPORTS at roan.com/chatsports. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. Can't recommend them enough. Link is in the comments and in the description of this video. All right. Excuse me. Fighting my voice all week. Blame the Bears for that. Sean McVay loves Thomas Brown, and I think that's worth mentioning. I think I talked about this when they hired Thomas Brown as a pass game coordinator. This is a long quote from McVay on Brown when he was on his staff as, again, the assistant head coach under McVay, which at the time he would have been like 35, 36 years old. He says, quote, "He's got such a unique, educated, and impressive thought process as it relates to a lot of things outside of football. That's why he's also the assistant head coach. I heavily lean on him with some things where he runs some leadership group meetings. He has a great pulse for the team. He's one of the greatest competitors I've ever been around. He's got such a great disposition. Very matter of fact, secure in himself, demanding of his guys. Anytime that you're a great coach, you have a big picture perspective, and he's always had that." I think a couple things here. One, I do think in this profession, endorsements from high-level proven guys matters. I mean, think about this. Sean McVay hires Thomas Brown, after one season, elevates him to assistant head coach, which, by the way, that was the year they won the Super Bowl, and he held that title for 2 years before leaving to go be the Panthers OC, which at the time, so 3 years ago when he gave him that title, he would have been 35 years old. That speaks to clear leadership. Now, again, the X's and O's, we'll see, but I think that speaks volumes. TJ Edwards, a player currently on the Bears team, yes, a defensive player, but he had his weekly interview with 670 The Score today, had this to say about the Bears' new OC. He says the dude is an absolute workhorse. He's a hands-on guy who wants to see everything that the players are seeing, a guy who truly loves what he does. I know he's going to bring some juice. And I think one thing is clear. Again, in terms of play calling, creativity within the offense, we'll see. I would think, the other assistant coaches are still going to have to help in that regard. But I think undisputed, he will be an upgrade as a leader and someone who commands the room. We heard little chatter coming out of Seattle. That was an area Waldron really struggled in. While he schemed things up at times pretty well, which for some reason stopped here the last 3 weeks, he was not someone who was a great communicator and carried the room. Sean McVay made this guy his assistant head coach after 1 year on staff at 35 years old. Clearly, he has leadership skills. Now, does that mean the offense is going to get back on track? Does that mean this offense is going to look innovative and creative? I have no idea. But hopefully he'll help hold people more accountable. Hopefully the effort, I feel like the effort since that Hail Mary has just evaporated. Like, you got to get these guys back on track. And hopefully this guy can at least, in the short term, help these things get pushed in the right direction. Here's the bottom line. Only one thing matters the rest of the season. Not wins and losses, not squeaking out games 17-12 because your head coach is trying to save his job. It's about the fucking quarterback. Can you get this guy back on track? Because going into the bye week, you felt pretty damn good about things. It was a slow start, but then for about 3.5 games, it looked really good. Acting like this guy was going to go win the MVP or something, but it looked really damn good. we all left the London game thinking, okay, the Bears got something rolling. Caleb's confident. We have a passing game. This could be a playoff team this year. He could take off. And it's been a disaster since the bye week. Caleb's lost confidence. He's been trigger shy. He's getting beat up, sacked all the time. There's rumors out there that couple vets want Bajent playing. Like, you got to get this thing trending back in the right direction heading into 2025. This is a dire situation. Like, you've got to get this going. So hopefully Thomas Brown is the guy to do that, at least from a leadership standpoint. I feel like that will be better. Beyond that, it's fish at a barrel. Complete guess. I have no idea how it's going to go. And welcome, Thomas Brown. You got the Packers this week, a team that has fucking decimated this franchise for years. You have not beat them in 6 years. Lost 15 of 16. So buckle up, buddy, because this thing gets ugly on Sunday. The Boo Birds will be loud. Predict the score. Bears, Packers, who you got? And what's the final score going to be? I'm going to hold my final score for later in the week. But be sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. We will continue to bring you content here on Chicago Bears. Now, Thomas Brown, best of luck. I'm rooting for you. We need you to get this quarterback going. We'll see what happens.